Hi, I've got something you'll be interested in. Those performance upgrades we discussed after the last race. They're on the car and the data looks promising. Take a look at the details.
What's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode. And we are back with the uploads after a little day off, and the reason being is because purely Call of Duty World War II came out, and to be honest with you, I just wanted to have a little day, just enjoy myself, a little bit of free time I had. And also the last few episodes, they obviously I set a target of 250 likes, and some of them have been falling a little bit short, so I just thought I'd give it a couple of days and give those who may have missed them a chance to catch up. Which, you know, if you have missed any of the episodes, guys, I do urge you to go check out the playlist in the link down below. I know there's a lot of new people coming all the time to the channel, and also people that might just catch up all the time, so there's a full playlist link down below in the description, and also a card to the previous episode in the top right hand corner of your screen. But we're here for Malaysia now, and the final 6 races of the season, I believe, or final 7 depending on how you want to count it. But we're here from Malaysia, a track that it's one that I've never really liked, or I won't say liked, but it's never one that I've really loved. I don't hate it, but I don't like it or love it. It's sort of in the middle. I think it does help when you've got a good car underneath you, and that's exactly what I'm trying to work towards here this weekend, and trying to get the car to work for me. But guys, if you are enjoying this career mode series so far on the channel, trying to keep the daily uploads going, then if we can smash 250 likes on this video, then the next episode will be uploaded tomorrow. So let's try and get that support going, guys, and try and smash it to the end of the season, and see where things take us for season 4. But as you can see, so far, practice program's going very, very well in Friday practice here, and the car's feeling very good. Eventually the track would actually dry up, and the rain would go away, and we could actually really push hard. And as you can see, I'm doing it in a bit of a reverse order, because I did the fuel strategy test before the tyre wear, because the track was very wet, so that would have made my tyre wear a lot worse on a wet track, so I let it dry out a little bit more. Also, I did the race strategy before the qualifying performance test, because I wanted to have maximum track performance in the qualifying test, and that's exactly what I got. As I come across the line, we managed to basically pass all the sessions and all the practice programs, so overall a very solid practice session, to say half of it was in the wet conditions. So overall very, very solid, and a good amount of resource points to carry over into, obviously, the R&D bank. But as you can see, we've got a new rival for this race weekend. After losing to Kimi Räikkönen, we've got Max Verstappen now as a new rival for the next few races. And we've beaten once before, so I've got no issue trying to do it once again here while we're chasing for the title. But as you can see, we're here in Malaysia in Saturday qualifying now. Overcast conditions, but no chance of rain. There is a chance of a small downpour later on into Q3. So if we get into Q3, there might be some rain later on expected. But so far, we're in Q1. As you can see, our first lap in the session is good enough to go straight to the top of the pile and first place, so a very good way to kick off the qualifying session here. Eventually though, we would drop down to P2 as Vettel would actually improve, and Ocon there in P6. Few guys on the soft compound tyres, interestingly enough. And speaking of which, those are the tyres that we're going to go for in Q2 for our run to start the race on these tyres. And the lap was actually a really, really good lap on these tyres, to be fair. I was very happy with the lap, and that puts us P2 in the shuffle. So very solid lap time on soft compound tyres. Eventually we would end the session in P6, so not too shabby. Ocon in P4 there on super soft compound tyres, and Vettel and Bottas both opting for the soft, just like myself. So overall, interesting strategies across the board here. But now in Q3 you can see I'm going out a bit earlier than normal, with 4 minutes left on the clock, because the rain is coming. So I was forced out early because the rain is on its way, and it could come any second. So I've left it as late as possible, and we're going to try and focus on this lap now and try and see what we can do. And straight away into turn 1, very dodgy first apex. I just got a bit too deep into the corner there, and I sort of ruined my line all the way through. However, now going into turn 4, I've realised something straight away. The AI seem to have a glitched lap time, so ignore the sector times as we go through them, because they're like 2-3 seconds off the pace. So we're just going to continue on the lap time. Ignore the top left, because they're basically not set a representative lap time yet. So as you can see now, going through this very, very nice section here, flat out sort of twisty section, and just the car's working very nicely for me. I missed my apex slightly there for the double apex right-hander, and that sort of set me offline a little bit, which wasn't ideal, but we're not doing too badly for time at the moment, as we now go into the hairpin third gate corner. Very tricky to catch the back end here, make sure it doesn't step out on you, but so far we are going fastest by over a second, which is what, like I said, the lap times are glitched out, so ignore them. And everyone will improve eventually later on in the session. But as you can see now, going through this left-right chicane, very tricky corner this one, because you've got to try and open up the corner into the next right-hander whilst not locking up and getting the apex down. I do a pretty good job of getting that pretty much sorted out to a T in fourth gear, doing the job for me there. And then DRS wide open on the back straight to propel you nicely into the heavy braking zone of the final corner here and you want to brake just before the curb comes up on the right hand side, down to third gear if necessary. I just use that to get the nose in, but I like to keep it in fourth, and then DRS wide open out the final corner. And the question is, where is the lap going to put us? Obviously P1, but will other guys around us improve? That's the question, because the rain is on its way, so we're going to be waiting now for people around us to set some better lap times. But so far we are P1, and we are going to remain P1. Vettel did improve, and a lot of the guys did actually improve, but not a lot, because literally the rain started coming down seconds after that lap ended. So the AI they managed to get a good lap in, but not the best, and they sort of slowly improved, but not to the extent of getting first place that I did. So luckily I've managed to time my lap in Q3 perfectly and made my one and only run count. So it's pole position for us in Malaysia, ahead of Sebastian Vettel and Raikkonen, my title rival, in third place. But with that, we're now going to move into Sunday for the race for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Right, so here we are then on the grid for Malaysia. P1, first place. We're going to try and do the damage here today on a bit of a different tyre strategy. And I'm expecting those behind me to start on super soft compound tyres. So we are going to have to run the softs at the start. And I'm looking forward to it, because it's going to enable us to have the possibility of a one-stop strategy, which you can see on screen right now. And hopefully this will work out for us. So it's going to be an interesting race. Obviously, Raikkonen is still there behind us, and he's going to be wanting to try and overtake me and keep the title race exciting. But if I win this race, it's going to mean big things for the championship. So I've got to try and bring this car home in first place no matter what. And also, fuel-wise, we're going to look over the expected laps, and that should hopefully get us comfortably to the end, also with the possibility to run rich mix whenever necessary. But tyre wear wise, we're going to run pretty marginal to get to the end of the race, so we might switch strategies depending on how tyre wear goes. But for now, we are going to commit to the one stop. But without further ado, I think we are going to jump straight into the race now for round number 15, I believe, of the season for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Right then, here we are on the grid for Malaysia. 5 red lights, and it's going to be lights out and away we go. Let's try and have a good start here on these soft compound tyres. It's a pretty okay launch, nothing spectacular. First phase was very poor, second phase very good. Vettel next to me also on soft compound tyres here, so we're going to be side by side into turn 1. I'm going to run a little bit wide on purpose to try and just force him out, but he's having none of it. But we just get our nose in front, and there we go, made the move, and we've held on to first place. A very good start to the race here. Meanwhile, Ocon into second place, my teammate. Incredible start from Esteban Ocon there. Really, really good stuff from Ocon. And if he is faster than me on those tyres, I may well let him go, because we, you know, for all season long we've teased this 1-2, so we might have a chance there of getting that result if Ocon has the pace and hopefully doesn't actually bloody retire from the race for a change. So meanwhile, also Raikkonen up into P3, so obviously, you know, as a championship contender, he's obviously responding to what I'm doing. But right now we do have 2 super soft compound runners behind us, so they probably will be faster than us at the start of this race. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the switch here. I'm going to let Ocon go, so we're going to let him have the inside line. I'm not going to defend at all against my team. I'm actually going to get out of the throttle a little bit and let him have the position. Meanwhile, we're going to just cut across and defend from Kimi Raikkonen here. He's trying to go around the outside. A little bit of contact here as I skid out a little bit wide. Raikkonen's still on my outside. I've lost the back end slightly, and that sort of backfired on me, but Raikkonen has made the move and he's into P2, so not an ideal situation there. I tried to let Ocon through, but Raikkonen being very, very savvy in making the move and trying to find his way back past. But let's see if we can keep up with Kimi and maybe pass him. That would be the ideal situation, so let's see what our pace is like. Oh, we've got yellow flag, someone's slowing down. I think it might be Sebastian Vettel who's got an issue, but he's slowing down on a straight line, so that's going to be issues for Ferrari, I believe. Meanwhile, we are continuing here. Ocon has been overtaken by Kimi Raikkonen, so my gamble has not really paid off. However, I am going to need... Oh, safety car deployed. That's a game changer. Right. That's going to make things really interesting now, because I don't know what's going to happen. That's really sort of thrown up in the air. I'm going to have to think this through throughout the lap. But Vettel out of the race, and Ocon now no longer leading this race. So Raikkonen leads. Let's see what they do strategy-wise. Okay, so interestingly enough, most people come in. Raikkonen stays out. Ocon comes in. So there's a chance here Ocon might have done the right thing. He's going to soft compound tyres. So that's going to be very interesting. Meanwhile, I'm going to stay out. Kimi's also staying out. He may appear at the end of this lap, but that's going to put him right at the back of the train. So either way, we are going to stick it out. My tyres aren't exactly new anymore. All of them plus 20% wear. So we'll see how that shapes out. But so far, I think I probably will be in a net race lead. And I'm pretty sure Raikkonen surely can't go for the one stop. I mean, I know you might be thinking about it, but that's got to be a bit over the top surely. But either way, we are going to be in second place for now. And in my opinion, probably a net first. So yeah, let's see how this one unfolds. But right now, it's just sort of completely throwing all the strategies up in the air. And I really don't know how this race is going to unfold now. Right, so the safety car is coming in this lap now. Raikkonen's going to lead the way. I'm in rich mix because I'm going to push really hard now for 5 laps or so until I come in for medium compound tyres. That's going to be the plan. We've got to push as hard as we can. So let's try and react to Raikkonen's restart, which we've done a pretty good job of doing so. And basically use the rich mix and just floor it. Let's see how long Raikkonen stays out for. Surely he can't be going for the 1 stop. Like I said, I'd be very surprised if he does. But here we go, restart on the way. Let's push as hard as we can now on these tyres and in rich mix. Right, give me pits, so there you go. I'm pretty sure that's the 2-stop strategy confirmed, so I'm going to take the net race lead. Also, there's a flurry of cars in the pit lane, so this is really blowing it wide open. I don't know where everyone is in position. All I know is that I am in first place. So let's see how this race unfolds now. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this all shapes up. Right, Bottas has a mechanical problem behind me, so he's going to start dropping off. So this is my chance now to crank up the lap times. Even though I've got a little bit of front wing damage and I'm struggling through the high-speed corners, we should be able to pull away from Bottas. So let's put in the lap times now and really floor it. Right, Bottas comes in, so he's probably going for the undercut here. So I've got to respond. So I've got to push really hard this lap as I'm going to come in at the end of this lap for my first stop of the race. Right, here we go into the final corner. We've got to really push this pit entry to gain maximum time and not allow Bottas to undercut me. But meanwhile, Ocon is going to take the race lead here at Sepang, which is going to be rather incredible. And hopefully he can convert that. I mean, I want him to win. I don't really care if I win the race or not. Like, I would like to, but essentially, as long as I finish ahead of Raikkonen, I'm very happy. So hopefully Ocon can go and win. He's got Hamilton chasing after him. Meanwhile, here comes Marcus Ericsson, of all people, up next on track to try and get past the 2.8 stop. Nothing spectacular. Very poor stop there from Fulton. I needed a 2-second bang on at least, but let's see where Valtteri is. That's the crucial question here as we rejoin the circuit. And it looks like he's next up on super soft tyres. So it looks like Valtteri might have switched his strategy to a 2-stop going on to super softs. So right now, I'm not too concerned that we're behind him because he's going to have to stop again. So right now, we're just going to battle. I think this is Massa on supers here on the pit exit. And we're just sort of argy-bargy so far as I get a bit of a slippy rear end on cold tyres. But we are going to make the move on Felipe and just pull in front. So right, let's see what Bottas does, but I'm expecting him back in. So what we've got to do now basically is keep the tyres in, manage them, and we should be back into the race lead once Ocon and Hamilton eventually pit. So let's see how the car performs now in these fresh tyres. Right, I'm all over the back of Daniel Ricciardo here. He's actually going pretty slowly in that Red Bull, so we're going to just go for the move on the fresh tyres. And Bottas is being held up by the Sauber of Pascal Wehrlein, which is doing me a big favour. But so far, Carful's very good at mediums. I actually put on a turn of front wing and up to the 7, so hopefully that will give me a little bit more front end, which so far it does seem to be making a big difference. So hopefully that will serve me nicely in the long run. So we've got Wehrlein coming to the pit lane. That's going to give me another free position, and also I've still got double DRS thanks to Ricciardo. So far things are going very well for us, and the pace is pretty good as I match my personal best up of the race. Oh wow, another safety car. Fernando Alonso out of the race. That is another strategy curveball right now, and if Ocon pits, which he hasn't done, I was going to say he could have won this race. However, Hamilton has pit, so Hamilton could be in prime position here. He could jump me if he nails this, so we need to speed up here. Hopefully, we'll rejoin ahead of him, but Hamilton could easily be ahead of me. Also, Bottas comes in, so everyone is using this as an opportunity to come in for fresh tyres. So this is going to promote me just way up the grid here. Lewis Hamilton's exiting the pit lane right now. Are we going to be ahead of him? Yes, we are, just about, luckily for me. So we are going to take second place. The issue here is Ocon might have just thrown the race win away because he basically should have pitted that last lap and he didn't do. So now I think he's going to lose a lot of time. Hopefully though he can go at a good speed and still do his pit stop and hopefully come out ahead, because I can hold up the guys behind me a little bit. So if I have to hold up the people behind, I can do that as long as Ocon does come out in front, because that will help me out massively, and that will mean a lot for the team as well for the Constructors' Championship. Unfortunately, Ocon has stayed out, which is very disappointing, but I don't know how this ends now. Ocon had the chance to win this race and he's absolutely blown it. So I don't know what he can do now. I think it's game over. So I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, I can probably win the race now, and that's obviously good news for me. Lewis, the issue is here. Lewis is on super softs and he will go to the end of the race on those tyres. So that doesn't suit me one bit. Also, Verstappen's there. I think that's a Raikkonen as well just behind. So we could be in trouble here. So this is why I needed Ocon to at least get a result for the team. So I think we've both thrown this race away, but obviously Ocon's thrown away more than me because he had the chance to win it twice and he's blown it both times. So yeah, this is really not ended well for us. We are going to be 1-2, but I don't know for how much longer. Right, it's time for the safety car restart. Same thing again, rich mix enabled. We're going to follow Ocon. He may well come in this very lap, so hopefully, I mean, I'd love to see you go to the end, but I don't think it's going to happen now. So let's just see how this race ends. But right now we've got to floor it on these tyres because we've got super soft runners behind and in much faster cars. So we've just got to be on it now for the rest of the race. Every single lap has to be perfect and has to be a time trial lap. So let's jump straight into it and let's see what our pace is like. 1-2 for Force India. Let's see how long this lasts. Right, Ocon comes in. So that's him in, I'm going to guess, for super softs. The question is who else is going to follow. Quite a few cars actually. But here we go then. Here comes Lewis Hamilton. He's going to pull to the inside on fresh super softs. I'm going to squeeze him as much as I can here into turn 1. It's the battle between Lewis on super softs, myself on mediums. He goes clean up the inside and makes a move. I'm going to still keep my nose in for turn 2, but he's just got so much more speed difference. It's unbelievable. So Lewis takes the race lead, and that for me is the race win out of the picture. However, Verstappen is on medium, so this could be a little bit more of an even playing field for now. So it's a question of trying to keep up with Lewis, maybe try and nab a little bit DRS for a lap or two, and trying to keep Verstappen basically behind me. Also, I don't know what tyres Kimi's on, so if he passes Verstappen, then we'll get a good idea of what he's on. But for now, we're looking okay. Oh wow, Hamilton's pit. So that was completely unexpected. That was a very quick stop. He only made them super soft starts like 5 laps. So now it's confirmed Raikkonen is also on medium tyres, and so is Verstappen. So it's a level playing field here for the 1, 2, 3 positions. So that is going to help me out massively, and I can comfortably hold these two behind for a little while. I've got loads of tyres left. So this is all of a sudden taking a very good turn, and it looks very good at the moment for me. So let's just try and keep it going here and see if we can bring this car home. Right, I'm now out of rich mix, and here comes Verstappen. I'm having to use standard mix, and he's got DRS on me. So here we go into the final corner. Verstappen goes up the inside. A little bit defensive driving needed now from now to the end of the race, but Verstappen's got the inside line. We're going to try and get some good traction at the final corner here, but it's no use. Verstappen has got the position for now. Also, Raikkonen, here he comes with DRS wide open. Verstappen actually knocking off my front wing and giving me that yellow damage pretty much as we go to turn 1 here. With Raikkonen, we're going to get boxed in. Oh, it's very close. 3 wide through turn 1. Please, please, please. Very close situation right now, and we've managed to come out on top. No, we've been spun round. No, no, not now, not now, not now. Spin, spin. Spin it round. Just try and get the car going the right way, but that was a big spin. Not what we needed. Verstappen giving me contact. I need to watch that back on the replay, but that is not ideal. And also, we've got front wing damage now. So, can we get this car to the end? We need this P6 at least, because we can't lose more points in the championship. Oh, shh. Oh, no. I've just seen the 2 cars behind Carlos Sainz. Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, and I've got chronic understeer, and I mean chronic understeer. This is going to be a very, very long last lap of the Grand Prix. Hamilton, here he comes, DRS wide open. I'm going to let him have the outside into turn 1 here. The question is, can we match him on the brakes? I mean, look at the braking difference. I'm trying to bring it down for the apex. Lewis, though, having none of it. I'm going to squeeze Lewis into the apex of turn 2, though. Will he back out? Not quite. I'm going to just have to out-traction him and hold on. I have to give Lewis a good old squeeze there. But, oh my god, this is going to be a challenge to keep these 2 silver arrows behind. Right, onto the back straight. I think we've done enough to survive, or I don't think we have actually, now I think about it, but I don't think we're going to survive this. So I'm going to have to pull to the inside and defend for everything that I've got into this final corner and avoid a Lewis Hamilton last minute overtake. He's going to try and cut back underneath me here as we go into the final corner, and I've managed to defend from Lewis and also Bottas, and we are going to come home in P6 with some front wing damage. And wow, that was a very, very intense race at the end there. Literally just very little talking. I was concentrating so hard, and wow, I can't believe we managed to hold on to that. That was a really, really tough race in the end, and overall we didn't really have the pace all race long. I think we was outperforming the car in most places, but that got really, really tense, way too much there. But look at that, Red Bull 1-2, Verstappen wins, and Raikkonen comes home in 3rd. So luckily Ricciardo does me a favour, and he does some damage limitation for me. But Raikkonen is going to gain a handful of points on me this race, which isn't too bad, but it could have been a lot worse. It could have been Raikkonen at top stop of the podium, and that could have been like another 10 points more already. So luckily it's not too bad, and it's only 3rd place. So overall, not too shabby considering the spin. But now we're going to look at the race results. Right, and after that race, you can see that Verstappen wins at Malaysia, and Ricciardo gets 2nd place. So 1-2 for Red Bull from 8th and 7th on the grid. A much needed result for them after a horrible season that they've had. And Raikkonen brings it home in 3rd place. Magnussen and Kvyat in 4th and 5th. Brilliant results for them. I come home in 6th place ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. And Sainz and Esteban Ocon ran at the points. Sainz from last on the grid to the P9. Fantastic race for him. And Ocon throwing away the race win on 2 occasions. And I think me and Ocon will be very disappointed with that one, because we could have had the race win at different points in the race. race. But in terms of obviously further down the field of retirements, the main one being Sebastian Vettel, along with Fernando Alonso and Marcus Ericsson there. But in terms of the driver standings after that race, we're 16 points ahead of Kimi Räikkönen, so we are still comfortably ahead, but you know, anything can happen, and that race was definitely a big scare, and we could have easily been way more in trouble than what we was that race if we'd got into a bit more trouble than that. But in terms of the constructors, you can see that we are in second place, and I think that's going to be where we finish this season unless something goes horribly wrong. But other than that, that was Malaysia, and we're now going to move into the laptop. Right, so looking at the R&D screen, as you can see right now on the laptop, you can see that we are pretty much neck and neck with Red Bull now. And in terms of the progress history, you can see that we made a huge step forward in this race, and this race weekend, and we're very close to the rules. And we've got 5 more races to go this season after this one. Also, in terms of the power unit, we will be using probably power unit 4 from the next 2 or 3 races, and then we'll eventually transition to power unit number 5. But other than that, as you can see, these are the teams that are most interested in my services, and Williams would be one that I've got my eye on. Renault also I'd be pretty happy to go to, and also McLaren Honda. To be fair, all 3 of them are good options I'd be happy to go to at the end of the season. The reason I say is because I am sort of looking for a change now with career mode, because I feel like it's getting a bit stale with the same team, so I wouldn't mind a little change. But other than that, as you can see, these are the results so far this season, and a lot of first places. We've had a very, very good season with this car, and I can't really complain that much. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much a little sort of a brief roundup of the career mode so far. After that, a very, very up and down roller coaster race. And yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you have, then please do smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also do check out the videos on the screen right now if you haven't done so already. And also check out GTA Mega in the links down below in the description. And there you guys. Other than that, guys, thank you ever so much for watching. I'm very, very tired, as you can tell by me messing up my commentary. It is about 20 to 1 in the morning, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video nonetheless, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. Goodbye.